Nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of the jungle, just a vampire stalking. Nightmare walking.
So what's going on today, guys? It's your boy Dragon Master back at you again. So this is a special deck I told you guys I was working on. Um, there are 3 different mechanics in this deck. There's of course the Gouki monsters like you see there. There's also Cyberse monsters along with the pendulum mechanic as well. Um, this is a very complex deck, but then again I don't exactly make simple decks. So let's jump right on into it so I can show you guys what's going on. This is, of course, a prototype of what I intend this deck to look like once I get a hold of a few more of the cards that I need. So to start off with, I am running 2 Gouki uh, Super X. I actually have a playset of them, but right now I'm kind of unable to find my 3rd one. It's buried somewhere in my collection. So once I find it, I'll be throwing it in as well. To follow that up with, I run 3 Gouki Twist Cobra, 3 Gouki Rise Scorpio, and if I'm going against the standings for these cards on the ban list, please let me know. This is mainly a for fun deck, so it's not necessarily going to follow the ban list. But once I get it up to full strength, I do intend on it to be a competitive level deck at some point. To round out the Gouki monsters, I also run 1 Gouki Headbat. I only run 1 of him because that's all I have is 1 of him. So that does it for our Gouki monsters. Let's move on to our Cyberse monsters. So for the Cyberse engine in the deck, I do run 1 Link Slayer, 1 Draconet, and 1 Bitron to start off with. I also run 1 Defect Compiler, 1 Stack Reviver, 1 Cyberse Wizard, and 1 Ram Clouder. These are the only Cyberse monsters I have for the time being. And like I said, this is a prototype of what I want the deck to be. And ultimately what this deck is designed to do is just completely control the field. But again, this is just a mock-up. To follow up with the monsters, I also run 2 Curry Bandit just so I can mill through my deck, get a certain spell card, and stuff like that. Oh, that hurt. Excuse me, guys. And for the odd monsters out, we're gonna round this up with Gemini Imps. I came across Gemini Imps the other day when I was at one of the local card shops down here. And what I really like about this card is, essentially, from what I'm reading anyway, it's a hand trap. The effect of this card is when a card effect controlled by your opponent is activated, which would cause you to discard your hand by sending this card from the hand to the graveyard, negate the activation and effect of the card and destroy it, then draw 1 card. And basically, I mean, what cards aren't played anymore where that kind of effect's going to come in handy. Now on to the pendulum mechanics for the game and really what all else is in store for the game. Some of the pendulum, basically the pendulum mechanic in this deck is around a few of the Supreme King monsters. I do run Odd Eyes Lancer Dragon because, as I said, this is the Supreme King pendulum mechanic. So I'm also running 3 Supreme King Dragon Odd Eyes, along with Supreme King Gate Zero and Supreme King Gate Infinity. So that pretty much does it for the pendulum mechanic. Like I said, this, and I'm going to say this a few more times throughout the video, this is a prototype. A couple themed spell cards for the deck and the certain monsters in it. I do run a Gouki rematch, one Cynet Universe, and Odd Eyes Fusion. Main reason I run Odd Eyes Fusion is because I do have an Odd Eyes Fusion monster in my extra deck. That, of course, being Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, which is the only reason why I run Odd Eyes Fusion. I also run one Ignite Reload, two Galaxy Cyclone, so I can deal. Galaxy Cyclone, you guys know what it does. Basically, it's to help protect my ass against my opponent's back row. And with Ignite Reload, basically, draw power. Resurrection-wise in the deck, I run the Shallow Grave. It is, I believe, the only Resurrection card that I do run in this entire deck. To help prevent my opponent from attacking, I run one Swords of Revealing Light and one Nightmare Steel Cage. I run Monster Reincarnation. While I guess technically that is Resurrection power, I don't count it as being such because it returns the monster to your hand and not the field. To help power up my monsters, I run one United We Stand and one Mage Power. United We Stand, it's a good card because the monster equipped with it gains 800 attack points for every monster you have on the field. And Mage Power is just that kind of card where every card in your spell and trap card zone, monster gains another 500 attack points for it. So, I mean, to me, it's basically a good card. I also run one Pot of Duality, just to help mill through the deck a little bit faster. And one Magical Stone Excavation, because, I mean, let's be honest, there's going to be a time where I'm going to need to use one of the spell cards that I've already used. Trap card wise, to help with really hand control as far as my opponent goes, I play one drop off and two Light Force Swords. To help bring back cards from the graveyard, I also run a Jar of Avarice. And for basically, well, we'll get into that here in a minute. I was going to say attack prevention, but for effect nullification, I run one breakthrough skill. And then as far as, attack protection, I run three Quaking Mirror Force. I know Quaking's not really used very much anymore because of the whole link mechanic, but overall I think it's still going to be very useful. And to round up the trap cards and basically the main deck all the way around, I also run three Magic Cylinder. So essentially what this deck is designed to do is to help me fill up the field as fast as possible, along with me getting out some key extra deck monsters, which we're going to be getting into those here in just a second. It's also designed, as you saw, to help with controlling what my opponent is able to play from their hand. Hence Light Force Sword and Drop Off. And just really its overall design is to help me really just screw my opponent over. Like I said, this is just a prototype. This is still in the testing phases. And like I said, once I get a hold of some of the other cards that I need for the deck is going to change up a whole lot. So, extra deck wise, I run three Gouki the Great Ogre, one Decode Talker, and one Honeybot for the Cyberse monsters. Since the Gouki monsters are Earth-based monsters, I do run one Mrs. Radiant. I also run Proxy Dragon. And to round out the Link monsters, I run, what is that? Ib, the World Chalice Priestess. The reason I run so many Link monsters is because this deck, while it is if I can talk right, once it gets to its final stages, it won't be so reliant on the extra deck. With it being in a prototype stage, it is kind of heavily reliant on the extra deck, which, again, that will change. To continue with the extra deck, as I said before, this does have the Supreme King engine in it. So I do run Supreme King, Dragon, Starving Venom. And then, like I said before, I also run Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. The last of the Supreme King cards is Supreme King Dragon Rebellion, along with Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon. Now, I know I can't use his effect because I'm not running Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon in this deck. Unfortunately, I don't have that card. But, I mean, for the simple fact that this is a 3K beater, I'm not going to pass that card up. And then because there are quite a few level 4 monsters in the deck, and I can simply go for a rank 4 Xyz monster, I chose Castell. Just basically because, like I said, I do have a few level 4 monsters in the deck, and really Castell, when it comes down to it, is while it might not be the best rank 4 monster I have in the deck, it is one of, or I'm sorry, in my collection, it is one of the best rank 4 monsters that I have right now. So yeah, that's the entire deck profile for this. As always, like and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down below about what you think of the deck, and also what you think I can do to better improve the deck and really get it to the status that I want it to be. Ultimately, all I really want in this deck is for it to be a Gouki Cyberse deck. I don't necessarily want the Pendulum engine in there, but like I said, until I can get a hold of the rest of the cards that I need for this deck, the Pendulum engine is in it. And once I get to the point where I don't no longer need the Pendulum engine in this deck, I am going to do a whole Supreme King deck. Just because it's something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. Also, before I end this video, I am working on a 4th deck to do a profile video on. This deck might take me a little bit more time to actually create, because right now it's all on paper. I have it on Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dawn of a New Era, and right now it's kind of kicking ass with all the cards that are in it. The only problem is I don't have all the cards that I need for it. So until I can get a hold of those cards, you're not going to see a deck profile for that, at least not in the near future. But the name of that deck is called the Dragon Masters. Hopefully that's not giving you guys too much information on the deck. It is going to be a dragon-based deck. And one of the main cards in the deck, the whole deck minus a couple cards, is going to be built around Blue Eyes. The other cards that are in the deck, like I said, once I do the profile video for it, you guys are going to get a full up-close and personal look at that deck. So, until next time, guys, this is your boy Dragon Master, signing off. Peace!
Nightmare walking, psycho